There is something so utterly bewitching about a food market, don't you think? It's more than just a place to shop. A theater of life, a riot of color, a symphony of sounds and smells. I find myself drawn to them, not just for the ingredients, but for the stories whispered between the stalls. We all know the famous ones, the grand dames of the culinary world. But today, I want to take you by the hand and lead you away from the crowds. We're going on a little adventure, tiptoeing down cobbled alleyways to find the places where locals truly eat, where traditions are not just preserved, but lived and breathed every single day. Our first stop takes us to the sun-drenched island of Mallorca, to the glorious Mercat de l'Olivar in Palma. Many visitors flock to Mercat de Santa Catalina, which is lovely. But Olivar is where you feel the true pulse of the city. Piles of glossy red peppers, mountains of gleaming olives, rows of ramolete tomatoes like ruby necklaces hanging from the rafters. The air is thick with salty sea air, ripe peaches. What makes this market so special is its magnificent fish haul. It's a spectacle all on its own, a veritable temple to the bounty of the Mediterranean. Silvery sardines glisten under the lights. Enormous prawns in rosy heaps, fishmongers move with mesmerizing grace, knives flashing as they prepare the day's catch. Watch them for a while. Then be brave. Point at something new and ask how to cook it. They'll happily share a family secret or two. Seek out stalls selling local cheeses like Nutty Mon. Be sure to try the spiral-shaped sweet encimada, a plate of freshly grilled prawns, a glass of crisp local wine. Now let's wrap up warm and travel north, to the bracing sea air of Helsinki. Right by the harbor, you'll find the Kauppatorii, or Market Square. In summer, it's a bustling open-air affair with bright orange tents, but I have a particular fondness for it in the cooler months, when you can retreat into the old market hall, or Vanha Kauppahalli. This beautiful brick building, dating back to 1889, is a warm, fragrant haven from the Nordic chill. It offers a completely different kind of market experience, one that is cozy, comforting, and deeply rooted in Finnish tradition. The air smells of smoked fish and warm rye bread and sweet cinnamon buns. Here you will find things that speak of the forest and the sea. Look for stalls selling gravilohi, that's cured salmon, so silky and delicate it melts in your mouth. You will also find reindeer and even bear meat. One of the most delightful things to do here is to indulge in a bowl of creamy salmon soup, or lohikeito. Many of the stalls have little cafes attached, where you can sit on a stool, warm your hands on the bowl, and watch the world go by. In summer, enjoy the fresh berries, blueberries, cloudberries, lingonberries. They are bursting with a tart sweetness that is just divine. My advice for visiting Kauppatorii is to embrace the seasons. It's food that nourishes not just the body, but the soul. Let's journey now to the imperial grandeur of Vienna, a city of palaces and pastries. While many know of the famous Naschmarkt, I want to guide you through its enchanting labyrinth in a different way. It's a magnificent river of a market stretching for over a kilometer, and it can feel a little overwhelming. But the secret is to look beyond the main thoroughfare. The Naschmarkt is not just Austrian, it is a glorious, chaotic, and wonderful melting pot of cultures. Turkish delight, Israeli falafel, Vietnamese pho, Italian olives, breathing in the scent of Viennese sausages, sharp cheeses, enveloped in a cloud of exotic spices, vendors calling out, offering tastes, close up, offered sample, say yes. This is how you discover your new favorite thing. Don't miss the Saturday flea market, Flohmarkt, at one end. Find a small family-run eatery tucked between the stalls. Neni, Israeli Mediterranean plates, sharing a plate of hummus, warm, fluffy pita bread. The real magic happens when you dive into the sea of stalls. Navigate like a local, weekday morning to avoid crowds. Be prepared to haggle a little, especially at the end of the day. Naschmarkt, a living, breathing organism, Vienna's cosmopolitan soul. If the Naschmarkt is Vienna's grand, bustling opera, then the Karmelitermarkt is its intimate chamber concert. Tucked away in the Leopoldstadt district, this market is smaller, calmer, and has a wonderfully hip, local vibe. The heart of the Karmelitermarkt is its Saturday farmers market. Farmers from the surrounding countryside set up their stalls offering the very best of the season. You'll find heirloom vegetables with wonderfully knobbly shapes and vibrant colors, glass bottles of fresh milk with cream on top, and handmade cheeses that you simply won't find in any supermarket. What I particularly adore about Karmelitermarkt are the charming little restaurants and cafes that surround the square. They spill out onto the pavement, creating a wonderfully convivial atmosphere. You can buy some fantastic bread, then sit down at a cafe, order a coffee or a glass of wine, and enjoy your own impromptu picnic. It's a fantastic place for people watching. My tip for a perfect visit is to go on a Saturday morning. Arrive with no particular agenda. Do a slow lap of the farmers' stalls, then settle in for a leisurely brunch at one of the cafes. It represents a modern, thoughtful approach to eating and living. Quality, community, and the simple pleasure of a Saturday morning well spent. It's the Vienna I love. Florence is a city that can feel, well, a little overwhelmed by its own beauty and history. And its main market, the Mercato Centrale, is often packed with visitors. But if you walk just a bit further, away from the Duomo's magnificent shadow, you'll find the Mercato di Sant'Ambrogio. This is where the real Florentines shop. It's wonderfully chaotic, unapologetically loud. Outside, you'll find vibrant stalls piled high with seasonal fruit and vegetables. The deep purple of aubergines, the fiery red of chilies, the bright green of zucchini with their flowers still attached. Inside the hall is where the real drama unfolds. Butchers in pristine white coats call out to customers, counters laden with magnificent bistecca alla Fiorentina. The air is a heady mix of cured meats, sharp pecorino cheese, and fresh basil. Listen to the banter between the vendors and their customers. It's a performance in itself. Don't miss the legendary trattoria tucked inside the market, Dorocco. Here, you'll find yourself sharing a table with local workers and shopkeepers. Ordering the pranzo del giorno, the lunch of the day, is an act of faith that always pays off. To truly experience Sant'Ambrogio, you really have to arrive early. Bring cash, as many of the smaller stalls don't accept cards, and most importantly, engage. Ask questions. Point. Use your hands. This market is a reminder that the soul of Italian cuisine isn't found in fancy restaurants, but in places like this. In the quality of the ingredients, the passion of the producers, and the joy of sharing a meal. It is pure, unadulterated, delicious Italy. Entering the Great Market Hall in Budapest, or Nagy Vásárcsarnok, feels just like stepping into a magnificent food-filled cathedral. Designed by Gustav Eiffel's company, the sheer scale of the place is honestly awe-inspiring. With its soaring steel structure and colorful Zolnay-tiled roof, the grand three-level interior floods with light across the bustling ground floor. The ground floor is a glorious assault on the senses. The air is heavy with the smoky, sweet scent of paprika, Hungary's national spice. You'll see it everywhere, in beautiful tins, hanging in long strings of dried peppers, infused into countless sausages and salamis. I absolutely adore the pickle stalls, with their huge glass jars. For a more authentic experience, you simply must venture downstairs to the basement. This is where the locals shop. But the real reason to come down here is for the pickles. The variety is honestly astonishing, and the vendors will happily let you sample them. Then, for lunch, head to the top floor. Bypass the main eateries and look for the small, standing room-only stalls selling langos, a deep-fried dough topped with sour cream and grated cheese. It is pure, naughty, carby bliss. My advice is to visit on a weekday morning and to treat it as a three-act play. Start on the ground floor to soak in the atmosphere and admire the main produce. Then, descend to the basement for the pickles and a more local feel. Finally, ascend to the top floor for a well-deserved, hearty Hungarian lunch. It's a place to be bold, to try something new, and to feast like a Magyar king or queen in this glorious temple of food. Everyone knows and loves Borough Market in London, and honestly, rightly so. But on a Saturday, when the crowds become a bit too much to bear, I like to sneak away to its younger, cooler, more rebellious little sister. Maltby Street Market. Tucked away under the railway arches in Bermondsey, this market is a more intimate, street food-focused affair. It started organically, with just a few food producers opening their warehouse doors to the public, and it has retained that wonderfully independent, almost secretive spirit. It really feels like you've stumbled upon a brilliant party you weren't even looking for. Sampling gin from a local distillery, savoring a sublime grilled cheese sandwich, biting into a rich, decadent brownie. It's a place of indulgence. One of the stalls I always make a beeline for is the Snapery, a bakery housed in one of the arches, for a loaf of their phenomenal sourdough. Then there's Monty's Deli, serving up what are quite possibly the best Reubens in London. The joy of Maltby Street is in its curation. Every vendor is there because they are utterly passionate and brilliant at what they do. My tip is to go with friends, but to split up. Everyone can forage for something different, then reconvene at one of the communal tables to share your treasures. Go early-ish, around 11 in the morning before it gets too packed. It's energetic, a little bit gritty, and absolutely positively delicious. Maltby Street is a testament to the creative, entrepreneurial spirit of London's food lovers. It's a secret worth sharing. And so, our little tour of Europe's secret food markets comes to a close. We have wandered through sun-drenched Spanish halls, huddled in cozy Nordic shelters, feasted under Victorian railway arches. Each market, a unique world unto itself, tells a story of its city, tells a story of its people, tells a story of its traditions. They are more than just places to buy food, living museums, community hubs, theaters of everyday life. I hope this journey has sparked a little flame of curiosity in you, a desire to look beyond the obvious, to wander down that side street, to peek behind that unassuming door. The most memorable travel experiences are often the ones we don't plan for, the small, authentic moments that we stumble upon. And there is no better way to find those moments than by visiting a local market. Ask a taxi driver, a shopkeeper, or the person at your hotel where they buy their vegetables. Look for the people with shopping trolleys, not cameras. Follow them. Allow yourself to get a little bit lost. Be brave. Try the thing you can't pronounce. Trust the recommendations of the person behind the counter. Buy a piece of fruit and eat it right there, letting the juice run down your chin. These are the moments that make a trip truly unforgettable. Bring the stories and flavors back to your own kitchen and let them inspire you. Because the greatest feast is not just about what is on the plate, but about the journey you took to get it there. Your table is waiting.